Hey, everybody.
Hold on. My camera's kicking
Nope.
over. Camera, come
Oh, your
on,
camera?
please.
No.
Camera, please.
We good?
No, not yet. Come on. Come on, chop, chop, camera. There we go. Now we're good.
Welcome, everybody. We got a kind of interesting week. Some kind of broad spectrum to talk about a little bit. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about Helldivers, Final Fantasy 14 getting a new patch. We're going to speculate on that. Camera does say no, correct, Eric?
It does.
We've got some different money topics going across Microsoft and Disney investing $1.5 billion in Fortnite. But it's going to be really interesting. I'm here with my co-host, Kula Monster Gaming. Awesome.
What up?
How is everybody doing today? How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. Still getting over this cold. Still taking my enjoying my week off of personal streaming. This has been it's been nice. I did a stream with Benny D on Saturday for his 4-year Twitch anniversary. A 4 to 6 hour one shot turned into a 14-hour one shot, so that was fun.
Yeah. It's always fun. More D&D, the better D&D, right?
I mean, you know.
Within reason. So, let's kick us off with we set the title as the Disney topic. So let's talk about that for a second. So Disney invests $1.5 billion in Epic Games, specifically for the use in Fortnite, mostly in a multi-year deal. This is coming off of like Fortnite already uses a lot of Disney skins, a lot of the new stormtroopers. I think you can be Vader in Fortnite. I have not played Fortnite since it released, like the first week, so I don't know anything that's in the game nowadays.
Yep.
But this isn't necessarily anything like newish. I mean, like Disney's been leasing has wanted to get out of they disbanded their gaming development company or section and started leasing. Yeah, and they've like I said they've been leasing their characters to other games, and we still get the Star Wars games that they've leased out, and MCU they gave that to I believe Disney was owned Marvel when Square Enix was given the last Marvel game. Marvel
Insomniac
Snap
Games has, well, that's, I guess that's Sony. So I was gonna say it has Spider-Man, but that's Sony.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now I did see a quote from Bob Iger, and I'm not going to be quoting it directly because I can't find it again. I found it earlier this morning and I can't find it again. I forgot to save it, write it down. But he was talking about how their deal with Fortnite, their deal with video games, and because video games have become the dominant entertainment. Actually, there was just an article a couple months ago about how it was just now not for like the first year for a while the dominant entertainment in the UK, but I believe it's still the dominant entertainment in today's markets, especially in North America. And so my question, and they're talking about how they get the most screen time they've ever had for leasing these characters, and a lot of times they get paid for it, not the other way around. And it works like advertisement for their games. You go and you have a bunch of kids playing Fortnite. They see Stormtrooper in Fortnite, and they're like, "Hey, they see a commercial for Star Wars, and it's, hey, that's my favorite skin in Fortnite." And then they go watch Star Wars. So, Disney soon owns everything. Soon we're going to be citizens of corporations instead of countries.
Yeah.
Taco Bell will win the fast food wars, and that's kind of a deep cut. If you don't,
that would be a sad state of affairs if Taco Bell wins the food wars.
Have you seen Demolition Man?
No, but
every food is Taco Bell. They won the fast food wars.
I know. Slightly off topic. Did you see that Taco Bell had an E3 this year?
Wait, Taco Bell had an E3?
Yeah, they were announcing the new items that are going to be on their menu for the next year.
Oh, I saw that. But did they have like a convention kind of thing?
Yeah, it was a big convention where they invited people to come to it. And they had it. It was all like they had like. It was like announced like an E3. Like the article I read, it was like, it was like E3 may have been canceled, but Taco Bell still hosted their own
Golden Bell 2023.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Oh my god, I didn't know about this.
It's ridiculous.
Anyways. But yeah, so this is the actual like them giving all this money to Epic Games and being like, hey, let's make and their wording very stealing MCU terminology because they can never come up with anything original. Is a Disney video game universe with Epic Games.
E3 is over. E3's dead. They are not having E3
dead,
this year. Yeah.
No.
Last E3 2023 was the last E3. It is no longer.
State of Play, Nintendo Direct, 8 E3 alive.
Yeah.
And
Xbox
cannibalized it.
Because now they're doing those as their own thing now. Yeah,
you got BlizzCon. You got every company that's large enough to hold their own convention is not going to E3. They're holding their own. But the question that I was going to have is commercials going to video games, and what does that mean for video games just in general? Are we going to be playing Final Fantasy and getting Mickey in there again? Are we going to be getting more are we going to be getting more collaborations like that? Kingdom Hearts Are we going to be getting what's another like big brand uh thing? Yeah, DC. Are we going to be getting DC in COD? You can play Deadshot. Like, is this the way that like their entertainment's going to be going?
I don't know. Could be.
And I don't know. I feel like every superhero video game that's released for a while, like, besides the Spider-Man games, um, that have released, haven't done too well. I mean, like Suicide Squad's doing okay. Arkham has been like, I feel like more of like a cult game kind of thing. Like if you
Yeah.
played Arkham, you loved Arkham, but it wasn't a massive seller. I don't think.
No. I mean, Arkham was good in its own right. Like people really enjoyed it, but like I don't think it was like, you know,
I don't think it didn't break into the market.
no.
So it's kind of a interesting thing to think
Yeah,
about.
it'll be interesting to see like what the expectation that Epic has to this development and whatnot. Um, you know, the Marvel stuff did not do well.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, that's another piece. It's kind of I'm wondering if they're just trying a different studio to see if because Square didn't
I
hit
mean,
it
Marvel Snap is doing really well.
right.
That was also created, but it's also led the lead developer for it. It was the lead developer for Hearthstone as well, the original
Right.
developer. So it has proven like good developer backing it, not just that it's Marvel as well.
Yeah, I mean it's still I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if that money is well spent. Um or if they feel like they're wasting another, chunk of money to get something built that doesn't end up meeting people's expectations. It'll be interesting to see because like Lego got a really reasonable treatment in Fortnite, where like people were really happy with what happened, and then Epic has combined Rocket League racing into Fortnite, so your characters can race, so you can deck out your cars with your characters, and you can race them on the tracks. Like they're doing a lot with Fortnite right now, so it'll be interesting to see what those characters look like, seeing those worlds, like seeing you be able to travel within those worlds. Because I don't know how much of the Disney universe this incorporates, but I mean, there's a lot other than just Marvel, right? I mean, you've got Marvel, you've got
Yeah.
Star Wars, you've got Disney originals, of what they had before they purchased.
Maybe you mentioned
Um,
Pixar.
yeah, you got Pixar. I mean, there's tons of stuff that this could potentially be a part of.
The ABC newscasters. Um, um,
Let's not
um,
go that far. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not go that far.
um, but
Just running around as like Al Roker or something, shooting people with a sniper rifle or whatever.
one thing
I'm
that's
Al
really
Roker, and you're dead now.
one thing that's kind of interesting to me is how is this going to is it's a multi-year deal, and I don't know if anyone knows this. It's kind of been like under uh an incognito kind of story, is that Disney's going through a hostile takeover right now through
Oh
with
yes, no,
multiple.
yeah, that's in
Yeah.
yeah, it's been
So
kind of a big deal.
yeah, it's kind of interesting on how, like, especially if Disney is going to be pumping this kind of money into the game market, is it going to cause it is after the takeover happens, if it does, is it going to cause some kind of like, nope, we're not doing that anymore, and they pull out, and then it causes another mass layoff wave. It's kind of an interesting like rabbit hole. I mean, that I'm not really certified to go into, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a big shakeup happening within Disney as a whole, not just with the potential hostile takeover. You've got the changes coming to Disney Plus. So in April, they're doing the password lockdown, like the address password lockdown, like they've been doing, like Netflix just did. That's in I think late April or early March, or sorry, late March or early April, and then I think in May they're doing like a 27% price hike, again. So they're expecting to potentially see, they're hoping to see like what Netflix did is see people come back because they're not sharing passwords anymore. Everybody's just getting their own.
Disney
Um,
Plus is an interesting topic because they cannibalized their own theater going and with it, and then it
yep.
failed.
Yeah, and then there was a report that came out that while they missed the mark with their Disney Plus money, they were up like a billion, 1.8 billion dollars, I think, with their parks this year. And their international parks were doing phenomenally. So it's like they're starting to kind of get the momentum, I think, to start like really pumping out money. If the Disney Plus stuff goes as they expect it to later this year, by the end of the year, they'll really be pumping it out.
Yeah, that might be like a leftover from like COVID and everyone bottled up, like cramped up, and then everyone's like, let's spend all of our vacation time that we didn't use for
Could be.
3 years.
I mean, but putting the parks in the international spaces, that's giving them international tourism. So I mean, it'll be interesting to
Yeah.
see how that affects, how their outreach into other medias like gaming and everything else. So it'll be.
So talking about some failed gaming and things like that, how about something that's booming in the video games?
Yeah, so Helldivers, man. That's Helldiver stuff is getting really interesting. So I think it was February 7th this Helldivers 2 released, which is a Helldivers 2 is like the newer game to the one that was back on PS1. Um and company by the name of Arrowhead is the one who developed it. But it's become the largest PlayStation launch on Steam for concurrent players to date. On day one, it peaked at 81,840 players concurrently playing the game, and that puts it 8,311 players ahead of Santa Monica's God of War. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Some players complained early on of crashing issues, and Arrowhead, the development team, said that they were continuing to work on it, and actually had to, at one point, had to make a comment about the fact that they had worked on it so much that their developers actually needed to pause their development fixes on it to actually sleep, because they just weren't sleeping. They were just trying to fix everything.
Pulling that
For
old
those who are
Japanese company man time.
Yeah, no kidding. For those who are unfamiliar with the game series, the game's been touted as kind of a Starship Troopers, the video game. So you're kind of a space guy coming down in a four-man co-op team that fights bugs on a planet. Um, that has been pretty widely praised. There's been really positive reviews on Steam and really positive reviews on PlayStation. A couple of the kind of the one big gripe that kind of people have been in discussions about is their microtransactions. So they're doing a free and paid battle pass, which offers armor and game affecting items. Some players have kind of complained that this feels kind of like a pay to win mentality, and while there is no co-op, while this game is only co-op, there is no PvP. The currency that can be purchased with real money can also be earned by playing the game on its own. The CEO of Arrowhead came to Twitter to kind of voice his reasoning, their reasoning behind the way that they approach this to address some of the concerns. And he says, I'm partial, but we really applied ourselves to not make a play to win, even though some items are functionally different. He said, the only items that are, quote, play to win is a revolver, which you could win, which will win you any cool gun competition. Only minor problem is it's really not that great of a gun. Um, he then responded to another user saying, you game developers have to earn the right to monetize at a high level. I truly believe that. If people want to support this title, they have the option to. We are never asking or forcing anyone to do so. And I agree with that. I think the market speaks in a way that, like, sorry, if companies are wanting to do microtransactions, I've spoken about this before. My belief is if this is a game that you pay a full game price for, right, $60 price
Mhm.
for, you shouldn't be doing any kind of microtransactioning in the game. This game is not a full $60 price tag. This is a $40 price tag. It isn't a AAA game, but it has been widely praised within the community as being a great game. So it's a $40 game, and the battle pass is $10. So it's not like a $40 battle pass. It's a pretty reasonably inexpensive battle pass.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hate microtransactions personally. Man, like screw horse armor, man.
Yeah.
I was just reading a thing, and now while I am not putting any real blame of this on the video game companies, I was just reading a thing about a woman who like got like a bank statement or like a call from her bank because her son had accidentally spent $4,000 on iPad games with like microtransactions.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not putting any of the blame on that on the video games. That's on the mom for not password locking the microtransaction charges on the App Store. Realistically, but at the same time, like I don't like the way all that stuff. I feel like it's kind of like a detriment to the games overall. It's the personal like statement.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can understand that. Like I said, I think the game has said so. Like this is where I'm kind of okay, right? The game has a way to get those same items at no cost to the player.
Mm-hmm.
So the game itself. So this is where I have a problem, right? If the game, if there are items in the game that are a pay to win, right? Or what could be considered. Whoa.
Sorry.
Ooh, Valorant. Oh, hey.
I got scared. sorry about the jump. Thank you for the raid. Welcome on in.
Welcome in, Valorant.
We're talking about microtransactions.
Yeah, we're talking about microtransactions in Helldivers 2 and just in general.
I'd still have more of those rather than gacha and selling. Okay, I think gacha is just the pure evolution of the horse armor, and yeah, and that's the real reason why I don't like microtransactions as a whole is because of the can of worms that it opens up. Right, Helldivers 2, yeah, you can earn all these items in the game right now, and I like that, and I personally like I would prefer that kind of thing. Right. But then that opens up.
That's where I differ, right? So like that's where I think this is kind of different, where like the items are pay to play, and if you don't want to go through the struggle of playing the game to get the money to be able to buy the items yourself, you can just pay money to get them. Like, okay, like you can still get them without paying the money, right? That's always an option.
Well, I'm saying that's an okay thing, but my problem is that it creates it's a can of worms, right? Because who's to say that that's going to stay that way? They can always release later an item that is not that way, and they can also always add in PvP and then make an item that is have an XP boost that sells, right? There's and then on top of it, then you have gacha mechanics, and like it is a PvE game, and I already don't like gacha mechanics, especially when it comes to like trying to sell them to like younger generations, creating gambling habits, right? That's a whole other can of worms. But then say Helldivers 2 starts creating gacha skin boxes, right? Goes Overwatch starts trying to sell gacha boxes for skins and stuff 100%. Like that. Yeah. And then on top of it, you have what's Steam's Valve's shooter called? That's in Source CS:GO, or it's a CS2 now. But yeah, you have Counter-Strike skins sell for like how much?
Like those like NFTs though.
Kind of, but they sell for like thousands of dollars.
Right, because they're NFTs.
But like there's all these cans of worms kind of thing that like it creates. That's why I don't really like these microtransactions, and I can understand why people don't like that the game has them.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's we're moving to a world where we're very digital oriented, and when we'll walk away from something that we'll spent a bunch of money on and we'll never be able to get it back.
Yeah, you will own nothing and be
We'll
happy.
own nothing and be happy with it.
So quote, what was it Ubisoft that recently came out and said that you should be okay with not owning your video games, I think is what like their direct quote.
Yeah, I don't know. So speaking of
Um,
people, speaking of being in hot water over dumb things, I think we have another hot water story.
yes. So
A light
Xbox.
continuation of last time.
Yes. So we were talking about all the layoffs going on with Xbox, like that, right?
Yes.
Xbox, with their 1,900 layoffs in their gaming department, a lot of that was in Activision Blizzard. When they bought and did their merger, their in them going back and forth with the FTC for their antitrust like working with them, they said that the companies would be working effectively separate um as much as possible, and there would be very minimal layoffs due to like overlap in roles. That was like agreed, written, black and white statement for the merger given to the FTC in appeals court. FTC is now filing a complaint against them saying, "Hey, but you just like fired like 1,900 people right directly after this merger. Are you saying that none of that was breaking this agreement that you signed?" Xbox has done a done a response saying that it's a misinterpretation, that these layoffs are actually planned by Activision prior to the merger, which is kind of interesting. But still, it's the complaint filed to the I think it's the Seventh Appeals Court or something like that. You has still seems like it might go to some kind of like actual legal debate
Huh.
pretty soon.
I feel like if they were supposed to be done by Activision, they should have been done by Activision before the merger.
Yeah, there's a few things on this, right? I mean, because like every company right now is doing, as Twitch CEO would call it, right sizing the company.
Right.
Um, and on top of it, like I feel like they should have, when they've done like the announcement, the layoff announcements, it should have been done by Activision and not Microsoft itself.
Well,
Like it
but the
should,
thing is that it's like the moment that it was owned by Microsoft, it became Microsoft's problem.
yeah.
And the layoffs also were incorporated into layoffs that Microsoft itself did. It wasn't just Activision layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
There were layoffs within Microsoft that were done as well.
Yeah, okay, so let's go with that then. So is this just bad press that has the FTC has just run with that bad press?
No, no, because I mean, I think it's a double hit, right? I mean, so here's my issue, right? So if if it's supposed to be an Activision layoff, then it should have been finalized before the merger
Mm-hmm.
so that it wouldn't have affected the merger.
Yeah.
Microsoft earlier last year said that there was going to be 10,000 jobs across all facets of their companies, not just video games,
Yeah.
but Xbox and Office and cloud and everything else. They were laying off 10,000 over the course of the year. So they were, and in January when those layoffs came through, that was them making true on their prom as part of that 10,000 that they were letting go. It was the rest of that 10,000 that were being let go. So like there were some that were coming from Xbox that were part of the Xbox layoffs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that like, but my problem is like, if you want to avert, like you're already under a microscope, right? With the FCC,
Mm-hmm.
like you want to avert that crisis, those guys need to go before the merger comes in.
So then, so like the question is like, is that you think at least their lawyers would know? I mean, if they're paying their lawyers more money than an hour than we make in a year, probably.
Sure.
You think that these lawyers would be able to figure that out and know that would be potentially a problem? So there's a question a little bit on like, is that is Microsoft lying? Is this
There's
were they
probably a
not
couple
planned?
questions here, right? There's
Yeah,
probably a fine print within the contract of the merger that says like we're expecting to drop these people before the merger, as a course of the merger. That was, like FCC has all this stuff, and
yeah.
I wonder if they're just trying to go in and see if maybe like, you know, somebody got swooped in that shouldn't have been swooped in, right? Like, Microsoft either, miscalculated, pulled somebody they weren't supposed to pull, you know, or knowing that there were supposed to be X number of people from Activision to go as part of this merger agreement, tried to swoop somebody out that they didn't necessarily want to keep. That wasn't part of the initial rollout.
Well, I mean, so like the what the FTC is firing them on, is suing them on, is firing redundant roles, because why the promise was made was that these companies, while being umbrellaed together, were going to function completely separately, so that way they wouldn't effectively make a larger super corporation that would exceed like a percentage of the market and create an actual trust. Right, that was the whole point of it, which is why they were promising not to lay off redundant positions like HR positions and stuff like that. Like, oh, we don't need Activision HR because we've got these Microsoft HR, or like whatever kind of thing, right?
Right.
And so what the FTC is filing is saying, well, you guys did that anyways. You guys are firing these redundant positions and creating more overlap in between the companies. Is what the file is saying. So that's why I'm kind of like saying, like, should it not have been like Microsoft saying, hey, we're letting go these people, blah blah blah. It should have come from a statement should have been made from Activision specifically, as it's functioning as its own company.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. It's hard to say. I am by no means a legal expert. We just see these things from the outside and can make comments, but it does look rather fishy,
Mm-hmm. Well,
to say the least.
here's a question. Should like Microsoft be combining all of these major, because I think we talked about this when their merger like went through on the stream. um like, should they be trying to combine all of these major companies? Oh, we were talking about Bethesda, because we were talking about the StarCraft not doing well. um
Oh yeah,
and yeah, and
not StarCraft,
oh yeah, no, it's Starfield.
brain.
Starfield.
Starfield. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Technically it's all under Microsoft now, but
Yeah.
but they keep on buying these really large companies, right? They bought Bethesda, they bought Activision Blizzard. These are like pretty giants. No monopolies don't serve anyone else other than shareholders. Yeah, that's true, 100%. Like they, um at the same time, is Microsoft, by like adding all these people together, are they just setting themselves as like a bigger thing to fall and fail?
Potentially.
Because
So here's where you got rubber meets the road, right? So hey, Rusty, um, the issue at hand is like you've got like I think there was a thing out by IGN this week that was like, in looking at sales overall between Xbox, the current line of Xbox versus PlayStation 5. The
mm-hmm,
PlayStation 5 sold over the Xbox 2-1,
mm-hmm.
which is a big deal. And so,
Yeah,
like, I think what PlayStation was doing, or what Xbox was doing, was trying to kind of like bring sales to them by bringing in developers that they know people like, right? So, like, what name some big AAA games that people really like to play. Skyrim, like Elder Scrolls, right? You got Elder Scrolls,
mm-hmm.
you got Fallout, you got Doom. Like, you've got those are all Bethesda. You got you know, with Blizzard, you've got, and Activision, you got Call of Duty, you got, you know, all that stuff under there. So it's like all that stuff now falls underneath Microsoft, and at any point in time in the near future, once those contracts with those, with those consoles run out, now they're Xbox exclusives, right? And if you want to play those games, you now have to come to Xbox. So it's like
Yeah.
it hedges their bets on, bringing more people to buying their console. Now they're kind of living in this like osmosis because they've been pitching this like console freeness, right? Because they want people to play them on whatever.
Well, I
So
think after they had purchased Bethesda, and after they had like kind of locked their bets in with Activision Blizzard, is when they realized we lost this console war, because like Phil Spencer even came out and he said that, right? And
right,
realized that they needed to pivot away from, oh shit, we need to try and sell consoles, to we need to try and sell our Game Pass, right? And even then, even if you create exclusives, right, they can be Game Pass exclusives. You can play them on the PlayStation, but you know what store you have to buy them on? The Game Pass app on your PlayStation 5.
right.
So that might be something they're trying to go with, and I could definitely see them doing that. But I feel like I really feel like Microsoft betted on the wrong horse.
Yep.
Like these companies have been surrounded in bad faith in the gaming industry for decades, for maybe decades. The S is a little too much. At least a decade.
Right.
I mean, how long has Activision had a bad rap? More than since 2014, right? Uh,
Right.
Bethesda
Well,
hasn't put out a.
Phil Spencer has already come out and said that they are designing another console.
Oh,
Apart from all the rumors that came out that said that they weren't, they are going to be designing another console. So, like, whatever that means, like, he has come out publicly and has said that they are going to be designing a console. They have not come out of the console wars. But again, I think buying these companies was to hedge their bets. I think that was their hope. So we'll
so Eric,
see. We'll see what the next console war does.
yeah. I think Microsoft is definitely bigger than Nintendo. I think there's an argument if Microsoft is bigger than Sony.
It's not.
Um,
It's
yeah.
not. There's no argument. Sony, even with the purchase of these two companies, Sony still has a larger share of the video game development market than Microsoft does, and
Well, not just talking about.
that was made aware to the FCC to the in video games. That was made aware during the court case with the FCC cases. Correct.
Overall,
And all over Sony.
I would argue differently, because Microsoft has a software license. They have Xbox and video game sales. That's what Microsoft is, right? Sony, especially in the East, like they make a lot. They're actively trying to compete with Samsung, and Samsung's huge.
So here's my issue with your argument. If you do any corporate business anywhere, you're using Windows, which is Microsoft.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the actual like size of the company. I mean, like, what does Sony owns movies. They own
No.
rights
I
to
don't think he's
Spider-Man.
talking
They
about
own
like physical people size of the company. I think he's talking about like corporate worth, like what they do within an industry as a whole, corporate worth.
I'm actually interested in this. I'm actually gonna Google it now.
And
Microsoft's net worth.
apart from video games, Sony and Microsoft don't cross paths for anything else. Literally
Yeah.
anything else.
Well, I mean, you have Windows on the Sony Vaio. Okay, so Sony is worth 118 billion. Microsoft's worth 646 billion. I would say. Oh wait, net worth as of the quarter ending June 30th, 2023 was worth 205.7 billion. So that 646 billion is a overinflation of it. It's still, so Microsoft's still worth about double
What
Sony's net worth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say that
their
that's also
corporate
an
net worth is-
overinflation of their stock market value because of AI, while Sony's
Maybe.
not in the AI game.
Sure. I mean, but like again, that's a difference in business, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
their business isn't AI. Like Microsoft has facets of business that does a bunch of other things. That's why I
Yeah.
said like if you look at like what they're doing from a corporate stance overall, Microsoft's doing more, so their corporate stance overall is much more than what Sony's doing. Sony has less, so they're focusing more on the things that they're doing, right? So which is why like their console does better, right? Their console doing better because they're focusing more on that thing because they have the patience to focus more on it versus Xbox,
I would
Microsoft
argue their console is doing better because of one statement that Microsoft said 9 years ago.
maybe.
and that was the you can't share games on Xbox. And
True.
that tanked the Xbox
tanked them.
One. Yeah, that ruined the
But
Xbox
from there,
One.
like, again, like there are other arguments at play here, right? Like
Yeah.
Sony has always been like, there. If you watch the interview for Grounded, Neil Druckmann talks about the relationship that Sony has with the studio, in that like if they wanted to make another game in the Last of Us series, they could. There was no pressure to do so. There were other projects that they wanted to do. They could. There was no pressure to do so, right? That's not the same mentality that you're getting from the Xbox studios, right? You're getting these like, hey, we want you to do this. We're going to give you funds to do this, right? We don't need to do anything else. Do this. So it's like, it's very different mentalities, and you're seeing a difference in the game quality, right? Getting these like significantly better quality games because the major corporation that owns them isn't sitting behind them and breathing on their neck saying, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet?"
Activision with a Destiny 1 release. No, we don't like that. Rewrite the entire story. We release in 6 months. Yeah, rewrite the entire story.
Yeah. So I mean, like it's definitely like Insomniac Studios has said this like about the Spider-Man series. Like all this stuff is done. Sony has been very gracious to like what they've done for them, and gives them a wide berth to be able to do the things that they need to. God of War, same thing. I mean,
And then you get like the Final Fantasy release, 14, and Sony throws a bone and says, yeah, you don't need our subscription to pay
Right.
your already subscription game. And then Xbox says, no, you do need our subscription to pay your subscription game.
Right. So it's it speaks volumes when the publisher has a lot of good relationships, even when they're owned by PlayStation, even they're owned by Sony. Speaking of good relationships between PlayStation and Square Enix, are we good on the Microsoft stuff?
Yeah. I think we
right.
beat it dead.
So speaking of
20 minutes till like
speaking of great relationships between Square Enix and Sony, last week the state of play for the new Final Fantasy VII Rebirth game played, which was about 20 minutes long, gave us great detail for the game. Did you get a chance to watch this, Gibbles?
No, I did not.
Oh, it's so good. You have to watch it. I won't spoil as much as I possibly can, but we're going to talk about it.
Okay. I mean, for me, just spoil it. I don't really watch a lot of like game announcement stuff.
So the game will play on 2 discs. It'll be the first 2-disc PlayStation 5 game. And the world is split into interconnected areas that you'll be able to explore freely. Each area has a number of activities and side missions that'll help you get more acquainted with the world at large. A number of mini games are added some that are compared 1-to-1 with the original, and some that are brand new, including missions where characters can be in low poly, and some that are card games. You'll be able to form bonds with some of your party members, which will lead to various social interactions within the story. These bonds will also allow you to unlock and perform various combo attacks, which you can reassign at will. Aerith and Barrett seem to both be wearing cool glasses when they do one of their attacks. And each character will have their own special abilities that will help them traverse and explore in terms of music. In terms of music, the game features both tracks from the PS1 original as well as over 400 new compositions. This state of play looked phenomenal. It looked so good. There was like swimming stuff in it, there was boating stuff in it, there was jumping stuff in it, and climbing stuff in it, and games, and tons of story stuff. And you could kind of like, it was really open world, so you could kind of pick your own stuff. It was really different than what they gave you in the first one, where it felt really linear, right? It was like, it felt like it was kind of open, but it really kind of felt linear. This one was really wide open. And it's gonna take forever
Final
to
Fantasy
play.
games usually work anyways, right?
Right.
They always go your linear story, the band breaks up, the band comes back together, you find an airship, and the world is open.
Yeah, a lot of what they were kind of showing off was a lot of the golden saucer, which was really cool. It looked really, really nice. And a lot of the like kind of the world travel stuff, which was really kind of cool. But yeah, this game looks really solid. I'm kind of pumped for this game to come out.
I was
I don't
hearing
know
a
if
lot
I'm
of
gonna
stuff
get
about
it at
Niflheim
launch.
specifically. Like they're saying that, or Nibelheim, I can't remember the actual pronunciation for some reason. That it was like the most like well-designed town, like populated, and it felt alive, that like people had like seen a video game like ever.
Yeah, I had the demo downloaded. I haven't played it yet, but I'm excited to dive into the demo for a little bit. It looks really, really good. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be I don't know if it looks as good as, if it comes out and is as good as it looked in the trailer, it could have a good contention for game of the year, unless Dawn Trail is phenomenal.
Did you play the last remaster?
I haven't played all the way through. I
Part
played like the first half of it.
Oh, I mean, like the last section of Final Fantasy VII. It's only like the first like third of the game, like not even like it's a very small. This one's 2 discs? Are they finishing it with the second release?
They haven't said.
I really hope they do, because I saw this one person talking about how it was saying like the first game, oh, it's a full game, and I was like, no, it's not. It's not a full game.
I wonder if they're gonna do like the original PS1 game was 4 discs, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're gonna do 3 games across 4 discs.
I mean, maybe. Do you know if like your save ships over, or do you like start at like a 0 kind of thing?
I believe they said your save data will come over into the new portion.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but I personally, I really enjoyed the update to it, the game, right? They breathed new life into 7 with the last section they released. I was mainly just like kind of like, really, that's all we got, kind of thing of the game, and then we waited how long for Rebirth to come out? But I mean,
as big of a game as this is, it makes sense as to why we waited this long, though.
Oh yeah, no. The gameplay is great and fantastic, and I loved, and I for some reason I haven't gone back and played the remake of it. I love Crisis Core, and I feel like the fighting style they've chosen is kind of similar to Crisis Core, except for the lottery wheel in the corner.
Yeah, no, this looked really, really good. Watching it, they got the chocobo breeding back. It looks like, because they had chocobos of kind of all different colors that you could ride, and the chocobos could like climb walls and stuff like that. It was really kind of cool. So it'll be interesting to see if this lives up to the hype. There was a lot of people that were kind of raving about this being really, really good. So.
Yeah, I've been seeing just a lot of things about Rebirth, and people loving just loving it in general. Like what they're seeing.
Yeah.
I know it's created a lot of resurgence of people playing the last remaster they put out
To get
as
ready for
well.
the new one. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've just been seeing a ton of like different videos on like people showing, um, just a bunch of people showing like going through the the gold saucer section and stuff like that.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. So it's yeah, that'll be. I think it's coming out. I can't remember what the date of that is. That is coming out February 29th. I think it. Yeah, I think it's 29th because it was like I made a mental note that it was the leap year, like it was the leap year day.
Mhm. Yep. All the mini games I feel like is gonna give it a lot of breath too.
Yeah, it'll be nice because it'll be like it'll give people like stuff to do, right? When you get bored of doing the grind, you can go
Mm-hmm.
off and do something else. Yeah, February 29th. It's the leap year day. Shout out to all the leap year babies.
Hold on, wait, are they adding the sphere grid back in from 10? No, 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 no. Wait. Yeah, the folio.
Yeah, they
Oh,
got
it's the
some
synergy.
really
It's the synergy stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
they've got some really nifty stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it look and this is it looks like because we're going to Nibelheim at this point. It looks like we're gonna get the like the section of the game that's like some of the most like iconic sections as well at this point.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does look really, really good though. It looks really pretty. Well, I don't know how they could have made it any prettier, man. It was already super pretty as it was.
Yeah, at the end of it, it showed there was a dragon at the end of it, right? Like right before the end. I don't know what
Yeah,
this was. It looked like it cast like Tetraflare, so it might have been like oh, that's not how Bahamut looks in the because I think they showed Bahamut in the last 7 remake.
yeah, I can't remember.
Oh, they're using all the haptic feedbacks as well for the driving.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, big excite. This I think I'm probably gonna end up getting for my wife for her birthday because she has asked for it, which
nice.
means I'm gonna have to give up the PlayStation for a little bit.
See, that's what you just do what me and Harley did. We got to.
Womp
Um,
womp.
so like that actually in oh no, we still got
10
10
more
minutes.
minutes. 10
I
more
thought
minutes until the servers go down.
I thought it was up. I was expecting the I don't know when the patch notes are gonna go live. They're probably gonna go live like tonight.
They'll go,
Uh,
yeah, like at midnight my
yeah.
time. So like probably later your night.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Final Fantasy 14, going back to our roots.
Hmm.
I won't show up in boots though. Um, sorry. Uh, the 6.57 patch is going to be released. Our expectations is that the Anabestios raid tier will be unlocked, which is 9 through 12. I don't know if Echo will be available or not.
Oh, I didn't even think about Echo.
I don't know if it will be available or not. It hasn't really been kind of announced. And I can't remember if it's part of the historical that they released that the Echo is available at that point. I would have to look at um
I kind of hope it isn't because like we're so close to beating 12, and I kind of don't want to beat 12 with the Echo the
yeah,
first
how far
time.
did you guys get?
We didn't get to like I think we saw the last hit of the Pangenesis and the slimes, and we had too many dead, and the slimes just we didn't get past that point.
No, when they released it last time, they did receive Echo
Okay,
of a potency of up to 10%.
that's not too bad. It's not the 30% like a lot of times they get.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to check is yeah, so this is also So if we look at previous 5.7 patches for um for any indication as to what we're looking for, um we should expect to see the floor fights will be unlocked. We expect to see a 10% echo. Um do 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 do. We will also expect to see a tombstone lift from 450 to 900. And I believe that will be it.
They might release like some PvP update thing too. Probably,
Potentially,
maybe.
but from a
Yeah.
PvE standpoint, I that's what we're kind of expecting.
Yeah.
Um, from
I kind of expect them to do something to try and kick life into the game a little bit more again, because they kind of have to every patch they do.
Yep,
Otherwise, the game's gonna get really stale pretty quickly,
correct.
and they want to avoid that.
Um, the 5.8 patch will, I believe that's when they unlocked
The 24 man.
24 man. Let me just double check though. Um, Yes.
Yeah,
What's up, Hood?
I think everyone kind of
Welcome in.
expects the
Yeah, I think we're expecting the 8-man release update. We're just talking about the patch notes for 5.7 coming out tomorrow.
mhm.
So yeah, we're expecting we'll get potentially an echo for the current Savage tier. That'll be for 9 through 12. So expect there to be large farming groups for that. And so we'll be definitely doing that for a bit.
Yeah, I'm excited to be able to
Um,
get through some some 9 through 11 like in like the next week or two with some people that I've
the next week or two. I'm thinking like the next week can be done with it.
well, I mean, like
No, I know. Just kidding.
I already have all the gear I need for my tanks and my healers, and I have like a lot of it that I need for my um Reaper and Machinist. So I'm not really caring too much about gear personally, but I do have some friends that are constantly like, "Hey, can we do raid?" And it's just like, "Yeah, I kind of wish we could. We gotta wait for this day so we can get everyone together." And
Yeah.
I know, I know they're kind of like kicking the bucket, like mad because they're or I guess tire kicking rather is probably better
Yeah.
statement for that. But like really upset about like because they just want to like clear. They already know they can clear the fight. They just want to get the gear for all their classes. So
True. But yeah, so exciting for that. So that should be everything should be going off here in about 5 minutes. Other than that, I think we're some off-topic news. Yeah, man, no worries. Some off-topic news. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl last night. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift getting that good time. It's a great game. It's a great game. It was a good day. It was a really good game. For those who watched it, it was a great game. I think the funniest part about the entire thing is that they partnered with Nickelodeon this year to bring a kids version of the game where they had SpongeBob and Patrick doing the announcing, and then they had Dora like explaining some of like the rules to football. So like they would do like a holding call, and it would be like holding is when a player illegally holds another player.
can
It was
you
really kind of
say
cool.
touchdown?
It was kind of cool, and they did like little like green screen animations over the like the nets and stuff. It was kind of awesome. It was good for the kids. Um let's see what else. Gibbles, what have you been up to this last week?
I'm trying to clear freaking P12, so I'm so close. I can taste it. I've been throwing caloric caloric 2 progs. because I know I can clear Panjin, but I can't get a group that can clear Panjin. And I'm trying to beat it so hard so I'm once I'm done with 12 and I've gotten like other people 12, I'm taking a Final Fantasy break, and I'm wanting to play other games. I got Persona on the backlog. I talked about Crisis Core. I wanted to play. I have the Pixel remasters that I've been meaning to get through. I've wanted to play the original 7, and I have it on my PS5. Right? It is so much I need and want to get done, and I need to beat 12 first to get through it. So I've been doing that a lot.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and Power World playing a lot. Been playing Power World when I'm too tired to raid, because I can just kind of turn my brain off for most of that.
Nice. So I've been doing a lot of offline Golden Sun. That's been kind of nice to get a little bit of nostalgia there. I blasted my EU alt through EW and got it raid ready. So now I'm just trying to I'll probably start trying to blast it through some clears throughout the course of the week to get some gear. Now that raids are all unlocked.
Got it. Yeah, unlocked. Now you got to gear up every single class on your EU alt.
Just the one.
Yeah, it's Warrior.
Just Warrior for now.
Then you got to get all your crafters and gatherers done, right?
Just for now. Just the Warrior for now. I got other goals that I need to do. It's on the docket. It's just not on the docket for right now. I kind of want to wait to see what they're doing for the pre-release bonus and how much of a percentage they're going to be giving to the bump on the earring or whatever they give. I really want them to make it a necklace. Really hope it's like a necklace and not an earring, because then you can like double duty the necklace and the earring and get like a double boost.
For anything under that level section.
Anything for another 80, you'll be able to get the earring and the necklace, and then the necklace will give you the 10 levels. That would be sweet. Yeah. I'm wondering if that'll be something that they do to help players kind of get caught up.
I mean, the game is a massive grind, and I will say this: like your first class, not hard to level up.
It's not.
Just doing the story, you're going to outpace the MSQ.
A friend of mine actually does the story on 2 classes, and he still gets almost enough to be able to get through 2 classes with a little bit of training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you will XP you will outpace the story, and you shouldn't ever really get level locked. Now that's not true before. I know in Stormblood, I knew a couple friends who got level locked, but I mean, like, at the end of the day, all they had to do was do a dungeon once or twice again, and they're fine.
The week Dawntrail releases, I'm gonna be busy, man. I've got three NA characters and that I've got to get through, and then get all of their crafters and gatherers up in preparation for,
and make all the crafted gear and get ready to go for the raid.
All ready to go for raid. Yeah.
I would just do one crafter first and make all the crafted gear.
I'll probably get one penta and then just get the gear.
Yeah.
Like making the gear is not going to be the problem. It's getting the penta that's going to be the issue.
You gotta get all that material. Material. The level 12s are gonna sell for freaking $1 million a pop.
Arms and legs for sure. Unreal amounts of money. Crazy. But yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Dawntrail. I do plan on trying to get something of like a larger. I hope to. I do after I'm taking a break from Final Fantasy after 12. It's not gonna be too long and playing some other stuff, but I plan on going back in and starting to do ultimates, because I don't want to get. I'm not good at the game right now, but I don't want to become bad at the game, because I do plan on trying to do some like week 1 rating and trying to be like more on that scene a little bit more. I think
my plan for 7.0 is I want to do week 1 rating, so I want to get a group together, and I've got a couple people who are really interested, so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think. Definitely. Yeah. Maybe the main question is how, and we've beat this dead horse before. I kind of want to beat it a little bit more, because 5.57 is coming out, and do you think they're going to be doing anything, re-releasing anything? Do you have any like bets you're hedging on, like what they might be releasing alongside just the release the raid for 5.7, anything to try and entice people to come back, keep upping their subs, stuff like that.
I mean, they could shock us and do something easy like the yokai event. I mean, they've already got it all programmed. They can just turn it on.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would be something super easy. I doubt it, right? I mean, normally when they do something big release wise, they like kind of make big announcements about it. The only thing they've been making announcements about is the Valentino event
Mm-hmm.
and this big Moogle Tome event that they've been doing, which really hasn't brought a lot of people back. But I mean, and they really had a lot of great prizes for the Valentino.
Yeah, I did not care for the drops. That's why I haven't touched it. I don't. The only drop I want is MGP, and
I want to grind for it, right? I mean, it's something that I want to grind for. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, like I will say this: they dropped all the late Allegan gear, or they dropped 3 of the late Allegan chess pieces. I would have grinded tomestones, Moogle tomes, if they released all of the late Allegan chess pieces and not just 3 of them. Because I do not care about the 3 that they released. I want the healer one. I've wanted the healer one for a glamour for a long time. And to be honest, it wouldn't be too hard to get. I just have to go to PvP. I just haven't touched PvP in like 6 years.
Yeah.
since like
weird
the first
that they did 3 of them and not the 4th.
PvP remaster. Well, like they did fending, maiming, and scouting, or maybe they did striking. But like scouting's not in there, casting's not in there, healing's not in there. Right. So maybe they plan on doing the next one, have the other 3, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh no, because it's still aiming is missing. Yeah, because I only did 3 of the melees. So we're still missing aiming, casting, healing, and the 4th melee.
Maybe it'll be part of the season 2 or whatever they're calling it. Hunt
I don't
2.
know.
Second.
I think they're just gonna keep naming that, because I think they're just gonna keep that system that they just introduced.
Maybe.
I think it's a good system to get the tomes, better than the last system where people
like, gather tomes and drop their stuff here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's just that the rewards just weren't enough to bring people in, really.
Right.
So what are some rewards that you want to see? What's a reward that you would bring you back?
I'd like to see some of those like older PvP crystal like the season rewards, now that they've been out for a while.
The
minions.
Season.
Yeah, the season ones. Like stuff that you can't get, right? I mean, like a lot of this stuff you can get elsewhere. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah, like I'm still missing a couple of dogs, and like so there's one dog out that I'm missing, and it's just Shinryu. I can grab one friend and go do Shinryu right now and get the dog. It's not going to be hard.
The problem I'm finding is, like, I feel like a lot of the stuff that they're putting up here is like, other than stuff that you can't get, right? Like the lanners and the kaimus and the whistles, like like the antelope doe, that was going for a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And now it's not going to go for anything. So like, it makes me feel like they're putting it up there so that they can rock the market down.
I don't know if Square Enix is really caring about like the market manipulation for the guild at all.
No, they are, because they changed the teleports because of the market manipulation. They increased teleports so they could get more money out of the game.
Okay, so you have to play more to get to guild cap.
No, so they like, you're spending more. You're spending more gil to travel around. So therefore, like, they're getting more gil out of the game. Like that was what their hope was. Oh
yeah, because so many people have been playing for so long that they are like gil capped, and so many people have like massive amounts of gil.
Right.
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, they also keep on increasing the cost of the gear every expansion, right? If you want to kind of easy gear as you're leveling and just buy the pre-made crafted like 61 gear, 71, 75 kind of thing at each of like the the
It's
aetherites.
expensive. It's more expensive and more expensive as you go up, right?
Yeah, and it gets like really expensive. It starts costing like almost 100,000 gil a piece or something like that.
Right. Yep.
So I can only see
It's
them
up there.
trying to do that kind of thing.
So, but anyways, yeah. I mean, there's
But yeah,
nothing really in these things that I like am dying to get. Maybe a couple orchestration roles. Like I want stuff that like is really really hard to get, and they're not
well, yeah,
really dropping in here.
like last time, the last one I grinded specifically for the sweep emote. I don't even know where you get that, but the main thing I was trying to get was was a hairstyle that only dropped from Delupum Regine,
Yeah.
right? Had a random drop chance from DR, and it's like, are you gonna get it? How often are you actually gonna really get a group together to do that very easily? And I could just buy this hairstyle now instead of like rolling on it, hoping it even drops, stuff like that. So I
Right.
was actually that was something I thought was great. Now, I don't want them. I mean, like I don't think they could actually. They could put like Ozma or Cerberus in there. I don't want them to though.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff that they're dropping here is like Sky Builder script stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the Antelope Doe is Sky Builder. The modern aesthetic, Modern Legends is Sky Builder. I think the Dommel is Sky Builder as well. Oh no, that's just a. I don't know where that's acquired.
Would you be okay with them dropping like the hunt specific mounts in there?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Hunts are a hit or miss for me, honestly, because it's like if you don't catch it at the right time, then you're screwed.
Oh yeah, I know. No, I've been meaning to like do a lot of hunts because I want tomes, because I
Yeah.
need tomes for to actually I want to get my scholar relic, but I just can't.
Like okay, like dungeon minions. That's a good drop.
Oh, that is a good one.
'Cause,
Yeah, yeah, like the bird.
like the bluebird, the little Lenin.
Yeah.
Like these are things that like they're so rare to drop. Like I'm okay with these things being tombstone stuff. Like
Yeah.
but like the Griffin hatchling is 400 Centrino seals. That's like 2 weeks of Centrino seals. Come on, guys. Like really? The little Lenin, you could like the Grand Cosmos dungeon. That takes forever. Like that doesn't always drop. That's great. Like that's a great drop. Like that's a great pickup. If you don't have that, that's seven tokens. You should go get that. Like there's a ton of like little stuff like that where it's like, and then there's stuff that's like only from this event. The Yokino Snowflake is only from this event. You can only get it here, so you should go get it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else in the game that's like that though, or like that's like besides just like dungeon minions that are like really hard to get. I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I remember when like Morpho was like, "Oh my God, you got Morpho!" Back in Heavensward.
What about Rathalos scales? Like
That's one thing you could do is you could throw, instead of just the
mount itself, you
mounts,
can throw in the currency for it.
you throw in the currency. You could throw in the weapons as like viable,
Yeah.
right?
The Ultima horns are in here as well. Those were actually a fashion item, the fashion report item last week.
Oh, they were. Oh, nice. I don't think.
Which I think they probably lined that up on purpose, so you could be like 30 tickets. I can get the fashion report item.
Scandalous.
Super scandalous.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely feel like they thought maybe they thought the Moogle event would generate more buzz for people, but every single person I've seen has kind of just been like, meh. I don't really care.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of how I feel. Meh.
Yeah. Meh. Watch them be sneaky and then announce something, because this patch is so long that they announce like some like
it's not that long.
Kind of large
it's
event.
7 to what 2? It's only 5 hours. It's only 7 hours.
I thought it was 2 p.m.
2 a.m.
That's why I thought it was 7 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Unless I read that wrong. I think it's
I think you're right, but I thought it was
7 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's only
Okay. It is a
very
weird timing
short.
though.
Yeah, they normally are at like 10.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're just trying to like get it so that it comes back on at the normal like server restart time, where everything kind of resets.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know. I don't pretend to understand what Square Enix and Business Unit 3 does.
It's coming out in September, guys. Okay. September's still summer. Dawn Trail's coming out in September.
Yep. Dawn Trail's coming out in September.
And then when it releases, we're gonna get Yoshi P Mid-Drift.
Right. You laugh. Okay, you laugh. I'm gonna laugh so hard if the Wandering Minstrel is a Pictomancer outfit with Midrift. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
I don't think they'll do that.
So good. I want it. I want it so bad.
I mean, I can see the Wandering. I think the Wandering Minstrel is gonna be in like native attire. I don't think it's gonna be in Pictomancer clothes though.
That would be great. That would be so good.
I think.
I mean, even Kryle doesn't want to wear those Pictomancer clothes.
people are gonna mod it in. Cryo Pictomancer outfit.
No kidding.
Wandering
no, they're gonna get her to 90
outfit.
and then they're just gonna do it. They're gonna get her to 100 and then they're just gonna do it themselves.
Oh, I forgot that I never touched the freaking trust. Yes, I didn't even know you could like change their outfits. Can you?
They've got secondary outfits.
I know you can do that.
Yeah. So, anyways.
That is something I should do.
I think that's gonna about do it.
Yep. Good
All
talks.
right, guys. Same bat time, same bat channel next week. We will be talking about some more news. Have a great patch day for those who play Final Fantasy 14. Everybody else have a great week. We will talk to you guys next time.
See you guys. Bye.